There is a podcast about an island in the North Atlantic where people have been looking for an incredible treasure for more than 200 years.
Hello and welcome back to Could It Be, an Oak Island podcast. We are your hosts, Deidre and Dustin White.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, how was your week?
Yeah, actually, it was kind of miserable. Now that you ask, it was a rough week here.
Yeah, we were all sick.
Yeah, we just
Each
kind
one of
of
us.
kept passing it back and forth, and then both the kids got sick, but they finally went back to school today, which was amazing.
Yep, we're all better.
Yay.
Yay.
I hope nobody else out there is sick right now, and if you are, then
We feel for you.
hopefully this podcast brings you joy while you are sick.
Yeah, we had the flu. No fun.
No fun at all. Besides that, anything else exciting going on?
Well, we did receive a package in the mail this week from England.
Oh, yeah.
Our prize for what coming in second place in the International Armchair Treasure Hunt for the novel Map of the Dead by Murray Bailey.
Yeah, we've mentioned that one before, but we were super excited to get our parcel in the mail from the UK.
Yeah, it was kind of torn up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It didn't come through customs and through the mail system very well, but at least it wasn't broken or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't broken. He definitely wrapped it very well in all that bubble wrap. So regardless of what customs did to it, it came to us safe and sound.
Yeah, we got this awesome little golden sarcophagus. The book is an Egyptian-themed book, and it's like a sarcophagus of King Tutankhamun.
But yeah, that was really exciting, super cool. Excited to put that in our treasure trove that seems to be growing, along with our Forrest Fenn Searcher coins and all that other fun stuff.
Yep, so that was super exciting. We're actually going to make a little video and put it on Facebook and YouTube here in a couple days, showing off our new prize.
Showing off our spoils.
Yeah,
So
well, we're excited about it.
if you're interested in that, keep an eye out. We know it's not Oak Island related, but those of you that are curious and have kind of followed along on our journey, it'll be there.
Yep, totally. Before we move on to, what's going on with this episode, we have received some emails of late, and I would like to read one of them at the top of the show because it has something to do with the prior episode.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we got this email from Tim P. So hi, Tim. Thanks for writing in. He says, "Hi, guys. I was just re-listening to the episode, and I have a conspiracy theory for you. For fun, I mean. I heard Barkhouse say, that's definitely the 90-foot stone. And it got me thinking. Okay, here it is. What if he swapped the real stone for a fake one that has no markings? Masons would be able to do that, right? Or at least he planted a fake one for the group to find. Now Mason's secrets are safe again. Tim."
I love it. I love the idea of Mason's secrets are safe again. But I know you have very strong opinions about this.
I don't think that Charles is deliberately trying to misdirect the team, but it's funny to think about.
It is.
And if it is the thing, like I said before, if this is what he is trying to do, props on him. He is making it real hard for these guys to
He's a diehard.
accomplish the tasks that they're set out to do.
I mean, that's a heavy rock.
I'm not talking about just the rock. I'm talking about if he's misdirecting the whole thing, man.
It could be a good story. It could be like a good little backstory line. Oh, I love the conspiracy theories. They're a blast. They did find another rock this episode, though.
They sure did.
I'm just
Not
saying.
too far from the money pit, right?
That one, it's thinner like the graphic we've seen in the past.
It is.
Maybe when they scan it, they're actually going to find something.
Well, you could definitely see markings on it, yes.
You can see markings on it.
So what do you think it is?
I think it's the 10 Commandments.
I thought you were going to say it was the actual 90-foot stone.
I was going to go that direction, but I decided to bait and switch. I'm going with it's the 10 Commandments. And
Okay, so when the depositors were unloading the the Ark of the Covenant, the last time they pulled out the 10 Commandments to do whatever they were going to do with it, one of the tablets didn't get put back into the Ark, or what?
Okay, so it's really heavy to carry the Ark, and the Ten Commandments. So they divided and conquered. They had, a few people over here carrying the Ten Commandments, and then you had the guys trailing ahead with the ark, and then someone tripped over that tree root, and they dropped it, and it broke, and they're like, oh, crap, we can't let him know.
And so they put part of it in.
Yeah, so they, tried to pick everything up, and then,
That was what was left?
Whoever got stuck with the one, they didn't get all the pieces. So it's actually a piece of it that got left behind.
That would be impressive, especially considering the geologist Terry Matheson said that stone is native to Nova Scotia.
Yeah. Duh. Maybe it's a
one of
copy.
the most common kinds of stones they find there.
It's a copy. We've read all about how the Egyptians made copies into stone and stuff that they were writing down. We learned that in the ancient Egyptian book of Map of the Dead, where Yanni does that. So maybe this is the same thing. And they needed their own copy here in Nova Scotia.
Sure.
And that one just happened to get dropped and broken.
Oops. Nice theory.
I'm always up for, a nice fun theory.
Probably not what happened, but
Okay, yeah, probably not. But it's a good idea. Okay, it's not a good idea. It's a fun idea.
yeah, I think it's a lot more likely that is the legitimate 90-foot stone than being
The one at the base
broken
of the tall
tablet.
tree?
Yeah,
Okay,
that one.
just wanted to clarify.
Yep. So, do we want to just talk about that stone real quick first?
Yeah, let's talk about it and it being found at the base of a tall tree
Yes, and
near the money pit.
yeah, by somebody that is not a member of the team.
Right.
What was his name? Tori?
Tori, just some random guy out there doing work. Hey guys, I saw this.
Yeah, he was
thing.
doing a survey inside the little boreholes.
Yeah, with the gyroscope.
Yeah, the gyro survey to see how much those little
Like the boreholes,
yeah,
right?
the little ones deviated from their where they wanted them to go. But I guess he was taking a break or something, and he just thought he'd go and explore the island unsupervised.
I know. So you're really
It's
stuck
kinda-
on the fact that he went off the beaten path and was what you keep saying. He's in an unauthorized area.
Yeah.
Now, first off, it wasn't roped off with crime scene tape or anything.
Okay.
The guy probably just had to pee. And he was like, okay, before I get going and all the cameras show up, he, trots off and was like, oh,
There's a stone over here.
yeah, oh, that's cool. I wonder if anybody's seen that before.
Wow.
They have not.
That's some theory.
That's how the Ten Commandments gets found.
Okay. So he
Oh.
went to the bathroom, found 10 Commandments, got it.
Okay, this is getting really bad.
Oh, yeah.
This story is really
Yeah,
going
it's way off track.
We're way off track. I am so sorry, guys. So if you are sick and you're listening to this and you're looking for some joy, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, to get back on track a little bit, I was wondering why this guy's off by himself near the money pit.
Unsupervised.
And he's, this is he's not a regular on the island,
right?
I could see Jack, I could see Gary, I could see Doug or Paul being out there doing what they want to do.
Wandering around.
Yeah, free reign of the island, but this guy, I don't know. Hey, I'm glad that he found that.
Unless
it just seems a little, I don't know.
what if he's working with Charles
Ooh.
and they did a stone swap?
Okay. You just have to keep going on with these conspiracy theories. Oh my
Sorry,
goodness.
I'm just in a feisty mood tonight, I guess.
Jeez.
You never know. Who knows what
You're
other
always-
random things are going to come in. I'm so sorry.
Every single little piece of whatever coming out of your mouth wraps back around to Charles being the mason that's trying to block them from.
But I really like Charles a lot. I don't think he's actually trying to do anything, but it's so fun to think about.
Poor Charles.
Oh, poor Charles.
No. So
The stone. They see it,
back on track. Yeah.
and it's got more carvings in it than said 90-foot stone.
Yes. One piece of it was really kind of flat.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's those little carvings that look like runes, right?
Yeah, they get
think-
it scanned.
Yeah, and also in like the next time on the Curse of Oak Island, they said something about how they were kind of like maybe Viking script.
Well, I think it back to when we were working on Map of the Dead and when we were working on The Secret, and we've looked into some of these ancient languages for
Yeah.
transcribing.
Yeah.
And instantly I thought they look like runes.
Yeah, the LiDAR scan. Yeah, those definitely look like runes.
After they put the talcum powder on it.
Yeah, I don't know the details of how you do LiDAR scans, but talcum powder, I thought, what the heck are they doing to this thing? But yeah, it makes sense. It makes it do what now?
It
you
would
were-
give it
you
a
were kinda explaining
higher
it to me.
contrast,
Yeah.
and it would allow, because it's a laser, it would, and just like with photography, you're bouncing light back and forth. That's how you're getting
Yeah,
the image of
Yeah.
what it is. And if you've got a higher contrast, it's going to be easier
gotcha.
to read.
Okay. Makes sense. So that'll be fun to get some more information about that next week.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that as they're looking at it. It just was a total surprise to see it there. Everybody's looking around for these big things, right? You know, the box drains, or we're looking at the money pit, or 10X, or a swamp, not just a random little rock on the ground like, oh, what's that? So it was just kind of a nice discovery.
Supposedly, I don't know, who knows? That stone's been sitting there for 300-400 years.
Or 3 weeks for
and
all we
everybody's
know.
just been walking by it.
Right?
Nobody's taking a glance at it until this guy goes pee over or whatever you said.
He's going for a walk,
Yeah, going for a walk, going sightseeing on Oak Island.
right?
You know,
And they're drilling giant holes just like you can see them from
Yeah.
where they're at, which is just kind of crazy to think literally a stone's throw away. Got that? See what I did there?
da-dum.
Yeah. Mom jokes. Okay. That was exciting.
It was, and we'll see where it goes. So let's talk about some of the big stuff that happened this episode up
Okay.
at Smith's Cove.
Smith's Cove. Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. All the Roman numerals are exposed, right? Well, the ones that we knew about going in.
And they're digging around the wall where they are discovering that
What,
they...
the 5 feet of wood?
Yeah. Okay. So in my head, when I'm thinking, apparently this
Sorry.
whole thing's,
No. 5 feet of wood was out of the money pit. My bad.
but it was. I was thinking about the wall
Yeah.
with the vertical pilings down, and it was way shorter than I anticipated it being. I expected it to like run the length of the entire U-shaped structure. Yeah, there's some egg on my face. I'm sure it's part of these U-shaped structure, aqueducts, etc., etc. No, I don't think anything that short
Yeah,
is
but it's-
providing a cofferdam for.
But it is curious that that wall
Is
was
it curious? Curious?
curious.
They said that a lot this episode. Sorry, I'll stop interrupting.
They
you.
always say curious.
Really?
Yeah.
That's curious.
Okay, so what's curious about that wall is that it basically lines up with the gap of the U-shaped structure, because there's a gap in the middle section. And then I guess directly behind that wall is where they discovered what they thought might be the box drain.
Yes. Was it right at the end where Rick and Craig are walking out there and he points out that it looks like it's right in the center of the U-shaped structure or something
I'm not sure.
like
I
that?
don't remember who it was, but yeah.
Yeah, that is very.
Yeah,
that's
Rick, I
very
think.
interesting.
Yeah. So it lines up with it. Does that mean that it was part of the same construction? No. It could be that somebody else had discovered what these, these proposed box drains and had,
We're trying to make their own. coffer?
trying to build something to block the water. I don't know. So that they can get to them better.
So they could further investigate the box
Exactly.
drains, or man, it's just one of those things you start thinking, how many people have tried to figure this out?
Lots.
I mean, more than I guess I had really ever thought about. And and seeing this just kind of makes me try to wrap my head around that big mystery here.
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on in this island in the past, like, 300 years. So Don't know the answers, but hopefully we're finding them out. You know, we're finding them out with everybody else on this TV show.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that are there know a little more than us, obviously. But,
Yeah, they're definitely going to know a bit more than us.
yeah.
And then the elephant in the room, or the drain in the room, aka we found a box drain,
Maybe.
but it's not shaped like a box.
It was at the beginning of the episode.
It was. And then the magic of television technology, they turned to
They turned these rectangle box drains into.
triangles.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, when that changed, I was like, what?
I think that was after Doug, Alex, and Paul went to the Lordley House, the Historical Society, and did some research and found the documents that said that prior searchers had found what they thought were the box drains, and that they were angular in shape on top of, angled into each other, two stones. And
Yeah,
that's kind of what they found. So
they were talking about them being shaped more or less like triangles.
like triangles.
And that there was a stone laid over anywhere where there was a gap and had coconut fiber filled in, very purposeful. But I thought it was awesome. We were able to get real measurements there. Like each drain, 66 feet long. The two outside drains from edge to edge were 66 feet apart. All came to a point that was 4 feet wide, formed an equilateral triangle,
Exactly.
330 feet long to the single drain, blah, blah, blah. I was like, dang, wow, like we didn't have to dig up these drains to really get all that information. It was right there.
It's cool to have the historical accounts to, then say, hey, this is what they found. Guess what? We found it again, and we're not done yet because they weren't done, and they went to a point. We're going to go beyond that point.
It is really nice to have these historical documents to be able to compare to what they're finding, and that they're seeing that they're hitting these same things. Check for so long, and for 5 seasons, it's a lot of very untangible items. And this season, season 6, we're now finally seeing, wow, we can touch, we can see what's going on in Smith's Cove. There's something really solid here. And that's got to be really refreshing for them.
I completely agree. And it makes for great TV.
It does. And it probably is good on the psyche. Makes them not feel like they're
Crazy.
You don't have to start every conversation with, I know I sound crazy. At some point in the episode, Marty said that if nothing was ever buried here, and then the greatest crazy mystery of all is what happened here, because there's obviously all this crazy stuff going on.
Yeah.
I mean, he said it a lot more eloquently than that. I mean, we did speculate about it being just a fishing pole holder. And so maybe it was like a guys' weekend getaway. But no, there's something going on here. It's just whether or not the treasure has already been recovered.
I sure hope not. I mean, it'd be great for the people back in the day that found it. Like if Samuel Ball had found it, cool, good on him. But I kind of want to see it happen for these guys.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it happen for these guys, but...
Well, we actually, earlier today, we were watching the first episode from this season again, and they had a segment where they were talking to relatives of Daniel McGinnis.
Oh, yes.
And they said that they, it was a flashback from a prior season. And they showed Rick and Marty a golden cross that has been handed down, in their family since Daniel McGinnis found it, supposedly in a chest out of the money pit. That's what they were led to believe. And they said something about, their great grandfather had found like 3 treasure chests in the money pit.
That's right.
And so what if that was it? And that's,
Yeah.
that was the end.
What if that was it?
And they didn't tell anybody, and people just said, oh, well, they didn't find anything. Let's keep digging. It's a bummer, huh?
Whatever they do, when all is said and done, they will have unearthed quite a mystery here. Really, it's a giant archaeological study. Just pulling apart these box drains, finding this U-shaped structure, finding whatever they found on the other lot that could be a cellar.
Yeah, flood tunnels,
Flood tunnels,
perhaps.
perhaps.
The swamp.
Yes, we haven't even got
Right
to
in-
the swamp. Or we were just talking about when we were watching episode 1 earlier. What about when they go diving for an anchor?
Yeah, that's like something that hasn't happened yet this season. Apparently, it was. We saw the we were watching this season on the Curse of Oak Island or whatever. You know, it had like a little preview of the season, and it shows Alex Lagina in scuba gear, and they're
That's
talking
right.
about trying to find some kind of anchor. We haven't seen that yet, so that's still something to look forward to.
That's something to look forward to. I still keep thinking about the idea of the red dye going out to 3 different places on the island. And then let's say we get to Smith's Cove, and through all that, maybe they don't find anything in the bottom of the money pit. Maybe they do. But what about these other 2 areas? You know, are they all these box drains leading to one place? Maybe there's something else. Who knows? Maybe everything's hidden on lot 5 and they will never have a chance unless that gets sold to them.
Yeah, I don't know, but what about the mega bin?
Mega bin.
You were so sure
The
that
money
that
bin.
Was, that was such a good place because it wouldn't be submerged underwater that way.
Yeah, and as I keep thinking about it, I'm like, okay, the water didn't cover the entire island, whatever, many years ago. But I just had this awesome feeling about that area. And it's
Wrong.
I've never been to the island, and obviously my gut was wrong. I was
Hey,
sick last week.
You know what?
So
They had some reason to believe that they should try it, so they went for it, and they might not be done with it yet. Who knows?
I do think they may have thrown the towel in a little too early.
Nah,
On
I doubt
them.
they're done with it. They have bigger fish to fry.
They do. There is just so much left to do and explore on this treasure hunt, on this adventure, on this little island shaped like an elephant. There is I don't know. There are just years of stuff you could be doing here, even if nothing's ever uncovered. Now, I don't have millions of dollars to do that.
They do.
But if
Don't worry.
y'all ever need an extra hand, I'm happy to shovel.
Hey,
I'll be there.
Don't throw that out there. Rick will take you up on it.
That's
He's already
fine.
told people that.
Can he fly me out? I will be there. That sounds like so much fun. I love me a good adventure.
Well, you're a pretty good worker.
Rick, I want to dig. Please.
Dig, dig, dig.
Dig. That's right. Thanks, Gary. What else in Smith's Cove that have we not touched on?
we touched on the wooden wall. We didn't talk much about the U-shaped structure. Hey, I got an idea. I got something else I wanted to chat about that they found on the documents at the Historical Society.
Yes.
They had that diagram by Hedden that
Right.
had like some wooden structure with Roman numerals on it, right?
The Skidway.
Yeah, it says Skidway on it. That's right. And so it looks like they may have found that in the next episode at the end when it says next time on the Curse of Oak Island. There was some kind of wooden structure that had a whole bunch of planks across it.
Yeah.
Or do you think that thing found that in that diagram is the U-shaped structure, and now kind of the U-shaped structure was kind of like broken apart to the where it sits now?
That was my initial theory, is that the U-shaped structure may have originally been the skidways
Yeah,
that look like giant ladders, right?
Yeah, and they had the Roman numerals on them and everything.
I was like, okay, well, if we remove those timbers that were laid over the top of them, then it could be just that they've been reused, repurposed, they recycled, I don't know.
Yeah.
And made that structure for whatever it was. But then looking at this one's for next week, you see the U-shaped structure, you see the little wall, and then you see what really appears to me
That Skidway.
to be that skidway. And now thinking back, didn't Dan mention something about finding a ladder?
I don't
Someone,
recall.
I think it was
Well,
last
do you remember
season.
that that little place next to the little thing next to the money pit has like a ladder sticking out of it. We saw that last year.
Oh, that's what it was.
Is that what you're thinking about?
Maybe that I just remember hearing ladder and then looking at the skidway. I was like, oh, that's shaped a lot like a ladder. Maybe someone was describing that. Well, that's off the table.
Yeah, I think that was like a searcher shaft or something that they had found that's right next to the money pit. That it's all kind of like
That makes
taped
sense.
off or whatever.
But
Yeah.
I'm putting my money on the skidway being what was found further back as
Okay.
you're headed towards the box drains.
That would be really cool. That'd be really interesting because that would mean that at least, well, maybe some documents got lost to time, but Hedden hadn't documented the U-shaped structure, if that's the case.
Yes, that's a
Or
really
maybe
good point.
maybe we just haven't seen it yet.
Well, yeah, because on that piece of paper, it said like page 10 or item 10 on, and I was like, 10 of what?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
like,
that's right.
So the question is, did the skidway, did he find that and not find the U-shaped structure? Did he find the skidway and not that other wooden wall? Did he do something, like, was the wooden wall from him? They're going to do testing on the wood, most likely. They talked about that earlier in the
Yeah.
year.
I'm pretty sure they even did that back in Dan Blankenship's day. I've read that they had done some kind of testing on the wood to carbon date it, but
Makes sense.
it was from the mid 1800s. They thought, give or take 30 years, but who knows? That was technology 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
It just is this constant changing. It's just insane to think about. And how many structures have they unearthed? Good thing the cofferdam, they put it out as far as they did.
yeah, and thank goodness it's still
Holding.
up so that they can continue with this work next year.
I totally agree. It's just there's a lot of big finds here in Smith's Cove alone, and then we see maybe that was Smith's Cove, the flash forward where there's like a piece of metal that Gary's holding.
Yeah. Usually we talk about that kind of stuff at the end, but I guess we'll just spread
Sorry,
it
I
throughout.
got
No,
sidetracked.
that's good. It's fine. I'm real interested to see what that is too. What he said there was some kind of design on it.
Yeah,
so,
some kind of design. He thought that could be a friend of the cross.
friend of the cross.
Maybe
That's what we're
it's
looking for.
lead. It'll be interested to compare the type of lead.
Maybe it's not lead.
True. I mean, I
be
don't think
anything.
it's gold, but
And
or what a I
Didn't look
wonder
gold.
the status of that potential gold coin that they found.
yeah, we didn't see anything about that this week, but they can't show us everything in one episode.
I know.
Yeah.
I want it all, and I want it now. Sorry, me and my sidetrack
No, that's
again.
cool. One thing that people have a hang up on about this show is that they want them to find something big every episode. And that's not how like treasure hunting works, you know?
Not
and
at all.
if you want them to show something big being found every single episode, they could condense the whole season down to like 4 episodes or something, but that wouldn't be nearly as fun.
Yeah, and you know, some of these big finds are in the research.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that document that
Yeah.
they found. That's a big find.
I'm glad they showed it to us. I'm glad
That was really cool.
we need to know that stuff. We're all invested.
Well, I was at our historical society today looking for certain things. There's nothing like the joy of going into the library, looking at old documents, or going to the historical society, pulling up all the old stuff. Man, there are some good treasures in there, let me tell you. But that's part
Yeah,
of treasure hunting.
I admire Doug and Paul and the guys that like really dig through all these. I was gonna say ancient records, but they're not quite ancient. But
They're not
these records,
ancient.
yeah,
But a lot of them, they're not digitized. You need to understand how to read and interpret them, you know, and being able to know what things, like what certain locations were referred to when they were initially built or whatever it is. How to be able to scan through those documents quickly to see
Yeah.
if it's of value to you.
yeah. Oak Island wasn't always called Oak Island. I forgot what it was originally called.
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, you know. So like, yeah, like you said, to know things.
And be able to put that timeline together. There is no Google search for paper. Okay? I mean, I can scan it in, I can PDF it, it can automatically read, but it would have to be uploaded to a database for them to go through. That was why I went down the Historical Society. I only found a couple digitized documents. Believe it or not, I had to put my eyes on paper, and I found some of the stuff that was like on the paper, it's all like fed through a ream, and you could, and it was super digitized, and you can tell someone put a lot of work into it, and you had to like rip apart the pieces of paper. That was high tech stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that
So
that's a big part of the
Mad props to researchers, though.
mad props to researchers, and then researchers that go back through all that hard work and make them from paper into digital. Wow. It's like doing it twice.
Well, what's that saying go? Not all heroes wear capes.
Yes. Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them dig in the dirt.
Some of them wear polo shirts.
Some of them wear polo shirts. I know a
Boom.
lot of polo shirt wearing heroes. I
you go.
sure do. Man,
You're looking at one right now.
I know. You only wear polos. You're such a dad. Oh, man.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. It's just funny because you fit the iconic image of cargo khaki shorts and a polo shirt. Like, straight
I don't
up.
I don't wear socks with my sandals.
Yeah, I
that's
know.
something, right?
That's, yeah.
Hey.
If I wasn't around, you might.
Take what you can get.
Yeah, well, if you'll stop wearing denim shorts, then we'll be okay.
I haven't done that in years.
Okay.
I have a pair.
I know. Good old jorts. Okay, sorry. I digress. What, did we have anything else in Smith's Cove we wanted to talk about, or do...
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
So, toward the end of the episode, Rick jumps in the excavator, and he starts
Digging.
Digging.
Excavating.
Yeah, and he kind of like breaks a wall. Like
Well,
with
he
it.
skims the top of
Yeah,
it.
I was thinking, ooh, I think they need.
Call Billy.
Yeah, get Billy back in there. I understand that Billy can't be there all the time.
He should, though.
Yeah,
Billy, also my hero.
yeah. Oh, sure. What's his last name? Gerhardt. Yeah.
I don't
something.
know.
Yeah,
I
he's-
just know him
hey,
as Billy. We're on a first name basis.
I like Billy. So, he's a professional.
Yes.
Rick knows how to do it, but he doesn't have the
And he likes
gentle touch that Billy
What do
would.
they call it? Surgical. Surgical Billy.
Yeah.
Surgical.
I used to drive a forklift for a living, and when I first started doing it, I could do it, but I could also like knock over a pallet,
Getting used to that type of stuff.
Yeah,
it takes
after
a bit.
doing it for like 5-10 years straight, no problem. You can stack stuff
Surgically.
50 feet high without any problems of the pallet wobbling or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe Rick has the experience, but I'm just saying it looked a little.
You were a little nervous.
I was a little nervous for whatever's under the ground. And Rick's the most respectful person toward the island.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't want to damage anything. He wants. It's just he kind of popped those boards out.
It'll be interesting to see, because as those boards came out, is there another short wall there? Where are these boards from? Because the way they were showing that they had the angle on them, it looked like they were also driven down.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
deep.
What if there's just a whole bunch of little walls everywhere?
Tons
What are
of
they
mini
for?
walls. I
Yeah.
don't know. Short walls like that. We call them pony walls in houses. So maybe there's a bunch of ponies. Pony walls. Okay.
Okay.
I'm done. Anything? What else came out of the money pit? We saw the.
Well, the money pit.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
Smith's Cove.
Out of Smith's Cove. Wow, I am a mess tonight. I'm so sorry.
It's past your bedtime.
It is way past my bedtime.
So I think that's kind of it for Smith's Cove. At least we hit all the big ticket items.
Yes.
Hey, what was Gary up to this episode? Did you see him at all?
Gary was doing nothing. No, I correct. Gary was there once. He was drinking. He was at the mug. He was at the Mug and Anchor pub, hanging out with the guys when they received the information from Chester about the drains, and they were talking. But that's all we saw of him. So I'm wondering if we're gonna see him a lot next episode.
Oh, he'll
'cause,
be
you know,
there.
He
He's
finds
featured.
that piece of whatever. Maybe it was his week off.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can have too much of a good thing, and maybe they're just holding him back a little bit from us, so he's not, the main focus of the show,
Because it's not the Gary Drayton show.
which should be coming pretty soon, shouldn't it?
I definitely signed that petition. I saw
haven't.
that. What?
I heard
how
about it.
Could you have not signed? You need to go find it. I don't even know if it's a legit thing, but I saw it
Yeah,
just
I
in
saw
case
something
it
about
was.
it. It's like a change.org petition.
Yeah, that's amazing. But see, okay, I'm a little torn because if Gary gets his own show, he might be too busy for us at Oak Island.
Nah, I think he's back no matter what. He's got the winter to make his own TV show.
Yeah, but he wants time off.
Yeah.
And he's all over like the History
Yeah.
Channel doing metal detecting with other people. Well, like he's not gonna be able to have any side jobs. That poor guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a cool job.
Maybe he doesn't want his own show,
That's very possible.
but we want his show.
Okay, so maybe he has like a mini series,
Yeah,
like just a special.
that'd be cool.
That would be.
I would definitely watch it. What would he do? Just metal detect in Florida where he lives?
No, he would
Go around the world?
like people would send in their crazy awesome places that they think Gary should go to metal detect, and he gets to pick the ones he really wants to do, the ones that seem like super awesome,
Yeah.
and just goes and checks them off. Like we create a Gary bucket list.
It'd be cool if he went to London and did some metal detecting on the banks of the River Thames.
Oh yeah.
There's a new TV show called Legend Hunter, and the host of that show got to do that with, I think there's only one person that's authorized to do that or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it'd be cool if he got to do something like that. It'd be cool to see him go metal detect in Australia.
Yes.
It'd be cool to see him go metal detect somewhere in Asia. Maybe he could have that miniseries as he hits one cool place in each continent.
Oh, but there's so many cool places on all the continents.
That's true.
That's
Hey, you said a miniseries. You gotta
I know.
keep it small.
Well, I know, but I want fans to send in like because fans have like these crazy ideas. Maybe they own some like ancient property that I don't know. Maybe someone's got a really awesome story and they can go do that. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, well, it's a fun idea. I'll sign the petition.
Okay, go sign the petition. Make sure you get that done. Okay, we touched on this just like for a second before about the money pit
Yeah.
and the gyroscope. I don't know why it never occurred to me before that the drills, especially when they're that little, just like drilling
off
a
course.
well, they would deviate.
Yeah. Yeah, so H8 isn't exactly under where they think it is at the bottom. It could be off. Well, some of them were off by up to at least 5 feet
Well,
in one direction and like 2 or 3 feet in another direction.
one of them, like when they got all the way to the bottom,
Yeah.
was 8.7 feet one direction and
Jeez.
2.5 feet another direction. I was like, what?
So if they
But
put
that was way below where their target range
yeah.
was.
So but if they're drilling and they want it to go straight down, and they hit that spot that's, let's say, 8 feet to the side, and then they're like, oh, sweet, this is H8, this is where the money pit is, and they put in a big 60-inch
case on and
down.
barely miss it. Cause,
Well, they put the case on, that goes straight down.
yes.
Sorry, you guys, you missed it by 8 feet.
And of course,
That would suck.
Craig and Marty are going to know this based off of their background
Yeah.
in the industry, but I don't know why that just never occurred to me. It seems like, well,
Well, it's not something you do every day. I didn't think about it.
but it really just surprised me how much when they got to the lower depths that it deviated. So it was really neat to see them do that, even if it was just a short thing. I love the gathering of the information to really be smart about where they're putting these caissons down.
Yeah, well, next week they're going to put another one down, right?
Yes.
That's exciting.
I sure hope so. It looked like
It looked like
based
it. They
off
brought
of...
the, what's that thing called? The big,
oscillator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that thing.
So whatever it is, it like turns things and puts it into the ground.
Yeah,
But
oscillator,
now
you're right.
that they've put the gyroscope through there, they know where the deviations are and what makes the most sense, based off certain depths and what the deviants. Just mind blowing.
Boom.
Loved it. I'm super excited about that. Really.
Yep. And they're going to get down to where H8 really ended up. That's where they found those human bones.
Yes.
That's where they found pottery, and that's where they found what else did they find in H8?
So many things.
Yeah. Anyway, and then what are they going to do with the spoils that they bring up? They going to put them on the wash plant?
Maybe.
And then what happens to the human bones that go through the wash plant?
Babe. They're
I can't let it go.
They're taking him to the pub. Everybody's searching. You find a human bone, you get a beer.
Okay.
I'll take a cider, please.
Okay.
I'm totally in. Guys, I'll bring the shovel and I'll look through your spoils.
For free?
If they fly me out there. And please give me I'll sleep in the research center. Is that okay? Is it heated? I know it's temporary.
You have
structure.
to use the 90-foot stone as a pillow.
Fine. Which one? Because that could be debated.
There's only one 90-foot stone. It came out of that basement.
Well, you could either call the 10 Commandments under the tree the 90-foot stone. You could call the one out of the basement the 90-foot stone. Or there's a replica hanging out in...
Yeah, that little one, that might be a more comfortable pillow.
Yeah. I don't think you could really fluff it. No.
Definitely
Whatever it takes, guys. I'm there. I'll be there.
Okay.
It's winter,
you're,
though.
You're so weird.
Yes, I know. Yes. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for it at all.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm really excited for next week.
Me too.
I think I'm really excited about the skid. The potential of said skid. That really excites me.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about what Gary finds.
I'm not as excited about that.
Why not?
I don't know.
What if it's a big groundbreaking find?
Because it's Oak Island, so I want to find wood. That's the thing.
I want him to find treasure.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Is the wood treasure?
A treasure is in the eye of the beholder.
Boom. There you go.
Boom. Drop the mic.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited just for a new episode of Oak Island.
Woo, woo. Okay, so I think this is a good time for us to talk about the Clotworthy moment in which one won last week.
Yep. So if you remember, last week we had two options. We had 5 feet of wood and a wooden wall. Right?
Wood versus wood.
I'm trying to do my best Robert Clotworthy impression.
Nobody
It's-
does
yeah,
Robert
it's not
Clotworthy
nearly as
like
good.
Robert Clotworthy.
Yeah. So anyway, here's the winner.
5 feet of wood.
5 feet of wood won.
It sure did. That was a good one. I liked it.
It was good. I mean, it is Oak Island, so wood's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So it won 67% of the vote.
Okay, so it wasn't like a blowout.
Yeah, that's still pretty big margin there. And we are going to try something new this week regarding the Clotworthy moment. We're going to put up 3 choices.
So much Robert Clotworthy, so much awesome narration.
Yeah, we need to give more choices so that the votes are spread out a little more so that it's not such a landslide for the one that wins.
Okay, but if we give them 3 choices and everybody still only votes for one, we'll know we have to go back to only 2.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, we'll see.
Let's play it by ear.
Okay.
And so what do we have this week for the Clotworthy moments?
Okay, so the first one is...
A diagram from the 1936 records of Gilbert Hedden?
So that's referring to that
The
thing
diagram
they found by Hedden?
Yeah, the diagram that they found at Chester, by Hedden. I don't know. We talked about treasures also being researched. A diagram, it was a very good diagram. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about,
Number 2?
So the second one is...
The U-shaped structure?
Wow, that one's real self-explanatory, huh?
Pretty straightforward. And we've spent a lot of time amongst the U-shaped structure.
Yeah, but the way he says it's pretty good.
Always good. Okay, last but not least, the third one.
A triangle-shaped opening?
That was
This-
pretty good.
I feel like that moment is what changed the visual.
It is.
So he said it, and then bam, magic happened.
Yeah, it's kind of like, so, I was going to say, so it shall be written, so it shall be done, but it's more like he spoke the word and it changed.
Yeah, let's go. Or he's just a wizard, and that happened.
Yeah, so he willed the box drains into triangles.
Yes. And everything's a triangle on Oak Island. The swamp, carvings on rocks, all the things, box drains, no longer boxes, now triangle drains. I'm not going to call them finger drains anymore. They're just triangle drains.
Okay.
So, 3 good ones. I wonder what's going to win.
I wonder. Hey, something else we need to chat about real quick before we wrap everything up is we are still holding our contest
Yes.
for a copy of the book The Curse of Oak Island by Randall Sullivan.
Yeah, so all you have to do in order to win that is go ahead and go over to Facebook, give that post a like and a share, and bam, you're entered to win
Well, where can they find that post?
on Facebook.
Where in Facebook?
Oh, sorry.
Did they just go to facebook.com? First thing they
Facebook.
see, they click like and share. Yeah, you're in.
I'm in.
I don't think that's going to work.
Okay, so because you can find us across all the social media platforms. Anyway, so go over to our Facebook page, which is at Oak Island Podcast. That's where the post is. Like it, share it. You're entered to win, and we will announce the winner
February 19th.
February 19th on Facebook Live. And then, of course, after that is done, we'll get in contact with you or you with us, and we'll get it sent to you
No matter where you're at.
no matter where you're at. So if you're across the pond, we'll get it there too.
If you're in Antarctica, though, I don't know. Maybe.
I thought we said everywhere.
Okay, fine. We'll make it happen.
I mean, it's fine. If you're in Antarctica, enter. I want to send it to Antarctica.
Yeah. So we've got close to 100 entrants already. So
Which is exciting.
Yeah. So if you haven't entered yet, it's a good chance to win a free book, and it's about a subject you surely like, or else you wouldn't be listening to this podcast.
Or else you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I have
So-
no idea why someone would listen to this if they did not like it. That would be a total
It's probably
waste
not
of
happening.
time.
Yeah. So another thing I'd like to talk about right before we, say our goodbyes is I want to share one more 5-star review that we've received on iTunes.
Ooh, yay. I love that.
All right. So this is short and sweet, okay?
Okay.
All right. This is from Charlie Hustle 16, and it says, "Great chemistry and solid perspective on this great show."
Oh, thanks, Charlie.
Oh, thanks, Charlie. Do you know who Charlie Hustle is?
No, I don't.
Pete Rose, the baseball player.
Okay, but this isn't actually
Yeah, that
Pete
was
Rose.
his nickname though, Charlie Hustle.
okay, but that's not actually who's responding to us.
Probably not.
It's not. I'm sure of it. And I bet you Charlie Hustle is an awesome person because he listens to our podcast.
Duh.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you so much. That is a great review. And if you would like your thoughts shared on the air, please leave us a 5-star review. We were more than happy to read it, and we appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Yes, thank you so much. I can't express how much these reviews mean to us. We really appreciate it. They brighten up our day.
Yeah, they sure do, and that's how people learn about us as well. If you write one of these reviews on iTunes, that gets us more noticed by other people that might be interested in the podcast as well. So if you take the time to do that, just thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yes, without you, we wouldn't be here. So, other ways they can interact with us. We already talked about you can find us on Facebook at Oak Island Podcast. You
Same way on Instagram, right?
can find us on Instagram the same way.
Yep.
And then on Twitter, you can find us
At Oak Island Pod.
You can also email us at Oak Island Podcast
At gmail.com,
Been married so long, you can finish my sentences.
pretty much.
Oak Island Podcast at gmail.com
Okay.
is where you can message us as well,
Just like Tim did.
just like Tim and Scott did this week.
Yeah, Scott sent us an email. We didn't talk about it specifically yet, but we brought up a number of the things that he shared with us. He took a bunch of screenshots of the next time on the Curse of Oak Island, and we discussed some of those this episode. So big thank you to Scott. That was great that you sent those to us. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much. It was great to be able to touch on them and really take a closer look at them. I really enjoyed that. We like having the conversation with you guys.
We sure do.
Until next time.
Could it be?